Good afternoon. It is October 30th, 1:35 p.m. I'm conducting my field interview with Beth Tache. And before we begin, I would like to ask if I have your permission to record this interview.
Yes.
Perfect. So to start off, I would like to ask you what initially led you to a career in marketing.
Um, so I was looking to get back into the workforce. I had not had any previous marketing experience and was introduced to somebody who gave me an opportunity. And I think it was a good fit for my personality. And that's essentially how I got started. It was just very accidental.
Lovely. Were there any pivotal experiences that influenced your decision?
Um, for me at the time, like I said, I was looking for some flexibility. I was looking for something that I would be able to use some skills that I had gained over the last couple of years, and it just seemed like a perfect fit.
So you say that you were able to utilize some of the skills that you gained over the last several years. In your opinion, what are some essential skills that a communications major like myself should hone in on to succeed in marketing?
I really think anybody can succeed in marketing. I truly do. But with that said, I think what has really helped me in this field is being friendly, being outgoing, not being afraid to get out there, networking, making connections, and genuinely wanting to help others. I think that has really helped me in my career.
Do you feel that there are any vital skills that often get overlooked by newcomers to the field?
I think in general, we go to school, we go to college, you're sitting in class. I really think that it is important to learn, get basic knowledge no matter what your field is. I think with marketing, a lot of it is really people skills, like you said, communication skills, and really understanding the psyche of working and speaking with people.
Right. How important exactly do you think networking is to the marketing industry?
I think networking is very important. I think that, like I had alluded to earlier, I believe that my career was accelerated and has continued to grow because of networking and a lot of things I did at the beginning of my career. I was out networking, I was creating strategic alliances and strategic partners, and I wasn't necessarily doing it intentionally. It was just happening because that's what I wanted to do. I was eager to meet people. I was eager to learn, and I was eager to assist my clients. And by me reaching out and making connections with other business owners and just other people in the community leaders, it helped not only myself, but it helped my clients in the end.
So
So I
you
think it's
feel
very.
Right. So you feel staying in touch with people and essentially people skills are vital to the marketing industry and to
um
success.
Yes, I do. Like I said, the I would set up at least 2 to 3 strategic meetings a week sometimes. And I knew that those individuals that I was meeting with would likely never be a client of mine.
Okay.
Whether I was working with another person, I have my own agency now, but even when I worked for another company, I knew that they were never going to quote buy what I was selling at the time, the marketing services. But I was strategic. I became strategic in meeting these folks because I knew that they could be advocates and they could also help to direct me or my clients when I needed that.
So could you talk a little bit about what it is exactly that you do now?
Sure. So I was for about 15 to 17 years working for a large media company, and I was paid to sell advertising, either print or digital. We came into the digital age, so then we started selling digital. But really what I was doing is I was being a marketing consultant and I was finding ways to help grow clients' revenues, to help them find new profit centers in their business, assisting with events, introductions, you name it. That's what I was doing. And so a couple of years ago, I decided to take a leap and I started my own small marketing agency. I have a boutique agency in South Florida, but really I can work with people anywhere. And I do everything from social media marketing to graphic design work, websites, and events.
So you mentioned that at one point you were transitioning to the digital age. Were there any challenges you faced during that time?
Initially, I was on a team at the time and we got a lot of training. I felt that was really important. And I was lucky that I was in a company that believed in training. And so we did receive a lot of training about what was coming down the pipeline, what tools we were able to use, how it was, going to be beneficial, why it was beneficial. Initially just a learning curve, but I dive into things. I do a lot of research and I was very interested in it. And I could see that this was the future. And so I just accepted it and adopted it. I love it.
Amazing. So can you describe a successful campaign or project you worked on and what made it so successful?
Oh, okay. That's a hard one. What just comes to mind is about 2 weeks ago, I had a grand opening for a client. We worked on this for months, and it was great. I did everything from the invitations to the print marketing pieces that we needed. I ended up creating a passport event. As a matter of fact, I just happen to have it right here, coincidentally. We did a passport, and this was the passport event. They filled it out. I put specials, they got their stamps, and everybody loved it. It was a huge success. People were raving about it. It was through a chamber up in Boca, and they were all saying they've never been to a better grand opening ever. The way I can gauge its success is by the amount of people that showed up, signed up for the different options that we had, and eventually they will hopefully become clients.
Oh, so that's amazing. Do you have any tips for developing networking skills?
Um, I would say I think it's important to have a mentor really in any business, but marketing as well. It's always great to have somebody to bounce ideas off. Even to this day, I love collaborating, bouncing ideas off other people.
Right.
I do that with colleagues. I do that with my strategic alliances, partners, and I do it with my clients. I'm transparent with my clients, and if there's something that I don't know or somebody can do better, I'm happy to bring in, an expert in that field. But I really I do a lot of research and I work hard at my craft and I enjoy it.
That's great. So before you said that technology will be the future of marketing. Where do you predict that the future of marketing will go for people fresh to the field?
I know the big buzzword now is AI, of course.
Right.
Not just ChatGPT. I feel like we all know ChatGPT, but there are so many, there are hundreds, maybe thousands, but definitely hundreds of AI applications out there and tools. And I don't believe that they will replace marketing professionals such as myself and
Right.
yourself. But I do believe that it's going to be important to understand how to use AI tools properly. And I believe that they can be a true asset to whatever you're doing because they speed up the process. But again, it does not take away from having the human element, which is yourself and myself. And also having the touch points of meeting and bouncing ideas off and all of that with your clients.
So what advice would you give to somebody preparing to face these the development in the marketing world, the transition to such intense use of AI and technology?
Probably what I would recommend, I guess it depends. There is, when you hear the word marketing, it really is a broad term.
Right,
So I would decide, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you really enjoy doing?
right,
Um, I truly believe that you should do what you want to do for your career. If you enjoy, one aspect over another, you should
right,
focus on that. And with that, I would get a mentor. I would do as much research as you can in your field and continue to learn. You want to learn as much as you can and continually learn because, as you know, the field of marketing, especially, is constantly changing.
right.
You hear about it on Instagram, the algorithm says to do this, now it says to do that. That's just one example. So it's constantly changing. So it's really important to stay up with the trends.
Right.
Um, and so that's what I would recommend.
Wow. So, have you developed any strategies to manage stress and stay productive in such a fast-paced industry?
So that's another good question. For me personally, I do struggle with putting up boundaries with my clients. I do think it's important. I know that. I teach that. When I'm working with my team, I tell them how important that is. Sometimes it's harder to do. It's easier to say than do, but I do think it's important to put up boundaries. On another note, in marketing, and again, depending on what marketing you choose, for example, social media is not a 9 to 5 job. It's not a 9 to 5 service. And so therefore, there are after hours and weekend times that, I am working and doing, and it can be a little disruptive with family time.
Right? Taking time out of your personal life to accommodate for work.
Yeah. Yep.
So you would say that the most essential strategy for someone who would like to maintain their personal life and their career life is to just set up boundaries between the two.
Oh, yeah. I think if you set up boundaries right away, you sort of set the ground rules so everybody
Right,
knows, what are those ground rules? So there's no question about it. That's definitely the easiest way. And that way you're not sort of backtracking.
right. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time. This was great. I appreciate you talking with me and doing this with me. Um, Thank you so much. Have
You're
a great
welcome.
day.
Thank you so much.